guys, welcome back to ViP Motorsports, where we are tearing apart our Tacoma, crushed Tacoma. Body is crushed, spirit is not. So, as you can see, we have gotten the rear out. It's sitting out here. Rear end is out. And we have gotten the, both the front knuckles are out. So I took them out in one big fail swoop. Got the rack and pinion. It's out. Tie rods and everything. And there's what the newest thing out. Front differential. So the front diff, I'm gonna paint this, as I said in the video when I painted the rear diff, this Street Speed 717 special. So this one will get 3 coats of the Rust Tough Krylon, and then 2 coats of the duplicolor undercoating on it. So it looks really nice. It does turn out real nice, and that'll be that. Probably these front knuckles, these guys, I'm probably just gonna paint these. Put like probably 3 coats of that Krylon on there, and then but no undercoating. I don't think I'm gonna undercoat those. Too many moving parts and components. I don't want to screw that up too much. But we will get the we'll get them painted at least. So I'm running a little bit ahead of schedule from my schedule I've got going right now. So that gives me an opportunity to paint some things, get some things squared away, cleaned up. So slow but sure, we're getting there. It's definitely a work in progress, but yeah, definitely a work in progress. So I'm looking back at the videos. I'm like, man, maybe I should do more instructional, or maybe I don't know if I want to do more instructional, or if I just want to show you guys, you know, what I'm doing and how I'm doing it, and go from there. You know, I don't know yet. I think I like how the videos are turning out, so I'm kind of liking it. You know, kind of just giving you guys the examples. And there's so many YouTube videos that I don't think I should make another YouTube video of the same stuff that's already out there. So that's what I'm planning to do. I just want to document my history through this, show you what I can do and what, you know, ViP Motorsports can do, and just show you what the process would be if you ever want to do this. It's a lot of work. It's already a lot of work, and I'm barely scratching the surface, because the hardest part of this project is not these big pieces. These big pieces are heavy. They're a little bit cumbersome. The hardest part is going to be the electrical and any of the weird stuff, because this truck, ABS, and I got to get the motor out to kind of see what ABS looks like to go from there. It doesn't look like there's any extra lines. I thought there was extra lines. There's not. It's simply some wiring. There's obviously some lines in the engine bay, and I don't know where they go, so I got to get, I guess, the engine out, and then we'll figure out where that goes from there. And then, yeah, we're just going to start plugging. Slow but sure, we're going to get this done. So, yeah, so I'm not going to do a time lapse of me painting this thing. There's no point to that. I just wanted a quick video of the update of where I'm at, because I kind of got in here one night and yanked this thing out. It's pretty simple. It's 3 bolts. There's a bolt here. There's a bolt here, and then there's one 12 millimeter. No, this helps to show you what I'm doing. Sorry, a bolt here, and then there's a bolt, weird little 12 millimeter hex head / Allen head. Nut, I guess it would be. It's a nut. Yeah, it's a nut on here that holds on down below. It's a mount. It's a rubber mount on here that that I took out. So what I couldn't get out the front differential by just taking out these 2 front bolts and that nut. I actually had to loosen the bolts there's one bolt that goes from the top side. So this is the top. So the top side, and then there's one down here on the bottom side going up. So I had to take those out to get enough clearance to remove the differential, because I couldn't get it high enough. It was hitting the motor when I had just that nut off of there. So something to know if you are removing that, you do have to. I would recommend, it's easier to just remove the mount, or just remove the mount bolts, and you leave the mount in there. So I didn't have to buy that expensive nut or Allen socket. So I think I said it already. I've got polyurethane bushings coming in for the rear end. I had to cut out the front. The fronts had to be cut out because the bolt had seized inside of the bushing, the metal bushing that goes inside. So I normally burn these out. You take a torch and you basically heat it up so warm that you normally light it on fire at one point, but it basically turns it into, just a sludgy rubber, and you just push it out. It's very toxic. A toxic. B, it's very messy. It makes a mess of your tools you're using. It's just messy. Semi-dangerous in some instances, because I would heat them up, or I'd heat that center bushing up and then push it out. But for somehow, I don't understand it, fluid dynamics and everything, but when you push it, it would create a pressure, and when you push it far enough, it would actually shoot out the backside. So kind of dangerous. I mean, it had some force to it when I was doing this on the Suburban. This one, I found some videos. Again, look them up. It's easy to do. I drilled 8 holes, as large of holes as I could create between the center bushing and this metal sleeve, and I made 8 holes in there, and then used my drill carefully, kind of egged them a little bit, getting as much out of there as I could, and then used an air hammer, and just pushed as much of it out, and it just really pushed out. I got these done in like 20 minutes, 5 minutes a piece, maybe 25 minutes, and they just came out so easy, so easy. Only thing I'd recommend is be careful with the drill. I did break a bit doing that. I did break a bit, but one bit is worth not having the smelly nastiness in your garage, not having the mess on the floor, not having the mess in your on your tools, not having to clean that up, because acetone is really the best way to clean up that stuff if you do decide to heat them up and take them out that way. It's really the only way. They don't come out by just pure force. They're never going to do that. The rubber is always going to absorb the impact, and you're just never going to get them out that way. You can pound for days and it will never come out. So right now I have these metal sleeves in there. I believe I'm going to have to remove these sleeves. The back ones are there's a half a sleeve, so one half's on this side, one half's on this side. So you can take your air hammer and cut these, or you can take a Sawzall and cut this direction. There's a good gap right here you can grab into and cut them off, and then push them out. These, same kind of deal. Air hammer right here at this point. I don't know if you can see very well. You really can't, but you can see this makes a big circle and it's been bent. Well, right down here there's a gap. You want to get your air hammer right there, grab it, cut it all the way back, and probably by halfway, a little over half, you're going to be just pulling that thing out anyway. So easy peasy. I'm trying to think what else. With the front hubs, I was trying to remove both of them, both sides, with the rack and pinion, like one big fail swoop, just drop the whole thing. One is dangerous because that's a lot of weight. 2, it's impossible. I couldn't do it. I could not get them off. So I tried everything to get them off, and they just not playing nice. They would not play nice with me. So I removed them. It's a bolt here, real nice long bolt. Can you see in there? Am I in the light? Can't really see very well, huh? Kind of. There you go. That's a little better. There's a bolt here. There's a bolt that goes up and down right here. And then there's 2 here. There's a stud and a bolt. And of course the tire rods, if you keep them on, you gotta get them out of there. And then there's two, I want to say 14 millimeter bolts on the actual steering. Take those out. It's just a bolt and a nut holding those on, and that's it. Take them off. So I just want to kind of give an update of what I've done. I kind of, been doing a lot of time lapsing, which is cheating and being cheap about it. But this is more of an instructional, hey, this is how you go. Trying to think about any of this stuff. I mean, leave it in the comments if there was something I skipped over. You're like, dude, I'm trying to take out that rear end. I want a little bit better video on how to do that. I'll totally do that. I will totally go and say, hey, yeah, here's how you take out this rear end. No problem. Whatever. It's not that hard. I mean, what's nice about the rear end is it's pretty much all accessible. You got shocks that are pretty easy to deal with. You've got, you do have a vent here, a couple plugs and wiring here. You got your brake line, of course, your e-brake. This is just covering the vent. Let's see, this was all for the ABS, so you got ABS, which you don't have to take off. That's actually a part of, what was that a part of? I can't remember, but I know I didn't have to take that off because that's a separate harness. That's that one sitting up there on the top of the truck there. So I didn't have to take that off. So, just a bunch of small things. That weird little, I don't know what it does. If you can explain that to me, what that thing is, it's like, I don't know if it's got a rod on it that runs all the way to the driver's side of the truck, and it connects on there. You kind of see it hanging down right there. That little guy, right there. Yeah. So it's not too bad. I mean, it's pretty simple. Just a few little trinkets here and there, but So this is kind of where I'm at. So what I'm going to be doing is, like I said, I'm going to be painting this for the next few days. Monday, I should be getting in the bushings for the rear end, so I can finish that up. That'll be nice. And then I gotta check my timeline where I'm at on it. I'm ahead of schedule. I've messed the schedule up, but I'm ahead of schedule. But I know I don't want to start early on tearing out everything out of the new truck. So the new truck's gonna be rear end will go in first. And then we will then go to the front of the truck and start tearing the front of the truck apart. That's the plan. So we've kind of got it all in pieces at this point. So that's where we're going to be going. I'm just going to be taking stuff off, and I don't know where. I need to find a place to store it, put it there, store it there, and then because I can't have more parts in here. It's gonna get too make a cluster of everything. So got to figure that out too. But that's where we stand. Just a little bit of a status update / a little bit of an explanation of what to do. I think I explained this on these front hubs. When you're working on them, you got this guy. He's in there on this bottom, your lower control arm, and this is what helps align your car. And I was trying to remove this what looks like a nut. Makes sense to me that it would take off the nut. That's not the case. If you're going to remove it, you have to take off this bolt, which does require, if you're just doing this, does require you to drop your rack and pinion, unfortunately. So that's where you're at with that if you wanted to do it. Just be sure you're removing the bolt. Don't ruin these. I ruined one already. So, luckily for me, I'm going to have duplicate of every part there is. So I can reuse some of that stuff. We'll see. I might replace those. I don't know if there's a such thing as a heavy duty one, because I noticed the other side, which I removed properly, actually had come out. The one on this side is actually pressed into this sleeve, and then this slips on and off. So this had popped out of the sleeve and looked like it had been moving around. So that's not good for your alignment to stay in place at all. But I'm trying to think of anything else I've done or worked on yet, and that's kind of the gist of it. Haven't decided what I'm going to do with the sway bar yet. It's 4 bolts. I might just take it out and replace it, and as long as it's straight. I think it is. Nothing seems to be damaged. And then I just need to take out the drive shafts, have to come out, engine comes out, and interior, which I always find interior fun. Interior is just a blast. It's just easy to do. It's not a lot of work. It's just figuring out how an engineer put it all together is what you're doing. So, yeah, I mean, it's coming along. It's coming along slow but sure, but we're gonna get her done. So that's kind of a good status update, I think. You know. Sorry, I show the truck way more than I show myself. Yeah, so I'm gonna end the video here. So like and subscribe if you like this video and you want to see more about the series. As I said in the intro video, got lots of other projects too when this is done. This is probably gonna be like a 4-month, 5-month project. I can definitely tell you I'm being a slacker on putting up videos. I have a ton of content, but I'm having a hard time finding time to actually put them up. So I'm trying to build a good schedule that has a good balance, that I can put stuff up for you guys and still function, like sleep, you know, that silly stuff. Anyway, if you have any questions or have any comments, leave them below. You know, I'm gonna focus on the positive people, folks that really want to you know, learn something or want to have questions or have good advice or comments. You know, I'm so small that I don't really have haters yet, but I'm sure they'll show up because they like to troll, and if they do, I'm just gonna ignore them. So that's just what's gonna boil down to. So, all right, guys, till next time, peace.